Good morning to you, dear children. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you, dear children, to this online class of Class 6 Social Science. I hope and pray you all are keeping safe and sound by the grace of God at home at this testing time of COVID-19. I'm sure that you might be tired of staying at home and long to come back to school. Yes, dear children, we too miss you all very much in the school, and we hope to see you back to school very soon. Let's pray that God may take away to this COVID-19 pandemic very soon and give us favorable time for our day-to-day life. Children, all of you see the green board. Today I am going to teach you Class 6 Social Science History part. The name of the chapter is 7, Life in Towns and Villages. The points of these chapters are second urbanization, rise of towns and cities, changes in agriculture, uses of iron and youth system. Children, before going through the points, I will introduce the lesson. Please listen here. The period between 600 BCE to 300 BCE in India is often referred to as the second urbanization because the first urbanizations took place during the Indus Valley civilization. This period is also known as the second urbanization due to the rise in the level of economic development. Many new urban centers with specific functions emerged during this period, like trade centers, port cities, religious centers, and administrative centers. Efforts were also made to bring new areas under cultivation and develop new method of irrigation. The discovery of iron played a great role to increase the agricultural production and establishment of the mighty empire like the Mauryan Empire in the 6th century BC. Children, all of you see the green board. The first point you see here, second urbanization. Why second urbanization is very important in the history of India during the time of 6th century BC. In the 6th century BC, there was a rise of well-planned cities with mixed population comprising craftsmen, traders, soldiers, and loyal officials who needed all kinds of goods from food to luxury items. Many new towns like Patliputra, Rajagriha, Vaishali, Mathura, and Kapilavastu emerged during this period. Kings played a great role in the development of agriculture, trade, and city life as they needed revenue to the salaries of the officials and maintain their standing armies. Therefore, traders, artisans, and craftsmen living in towns had to pay taxes either in cash or in kind or work free for the king. Children, now you see the second point, rise of towns and cities. How towns and cities arose during the 6th century BC. It is said that more than 60 towns and cities such as Patliputra, Saravasti, Varanasi, Vaishali and Ujjain developed between 600 BC to 300 BC. These cities became a center of craft production and trade, inhabited by large number of artisans like textile, silk, jewelry, and pottery, which were carried by merchants to other towns and cities. A majority of them were political centers and capitals of the early monarchical kingdoms like Patliputra, Madurai, Ujjain and Saravasti. Most of the cities were port cities as they were located on the bank of the river Ganga and the Indus, which were used for communication. Many religious centers like Bodh Gaya, Mathura, Vaishali and Kapilavastu emerged as the followers of Buddhism and Jainism, who were traders and craftsmen, paid donations to the Buddhist Sanghas and Jain temples. You see the third point, changes in agriculture. How agriculture changed during the time of 6th century BC. With the use of iron hoes, sickles and iron-tipped plows, agriculture expanded, leading to the production of food surplus for the people living in towns. Several efforts were made to bring new areas under cultivation and develop new method of irrigation. Canals, water tanks, wells and artificial lakes were created to the farmers' dependency on rains. You see the fourth point, uses of iron. How ions are used in the 6th century BC. The discovery of iron had a great role to play in the development and spread of civilization throughout the world. The Mauryas were responsible for the introduction of iron on a large scale in different parts of subcontinent. They maintained a monopoly over production of iron, which was a great demand by the army, industry and agriculture. The last point is guild system. The guild system was practiced during the 6th century BC. Traders, artisans and craftsmen were organized in associations called guilds. The guilds were powerful organizations and control the entire economic activity relating to the purchase of raw materials, the fixation of prices of commodities, sale of goods and the wages of the workers. So children, lot of information is available regarding the development of towns, trade and craft in the Mauryan and the post-Mauryan period. Today, I conclude my class here. You please go through the points and study at home sincerely. Thank you, and please take care of yourself.